Professor Ivan Traykov from the Department of Ecology and Environmental Protection of the University of Sofia. You have a presentation, right? Okay. So since we are running a little bit late, you were assigned initially 15 minutes each. If you could be even a little bit quicker, that could help.
Hello, my name is Ivan Traykov, as you heard, and I'm just an assistant. I'm far from being a professor. Today I will try to give a talk about our experience in disseminating results in environmental research in Bulgaria, or at least in our department. First, a few words about the structure of our department. As in any educational institution or at any university, our department consists of different working groups or sections. The first one I have listed here is the aquatic ecology and water management, which I am part of. We also have a section of terrestrial ecology, which also contains the subgroups of animal ecology, plant ecology, and microbial ecology. We also have sections in ecotoxicology and biomonitoring. Sorry about that. I have selected a few projects from our department about which I would like to say a few words. Of course, everybody in the department has its own field of interest or topic in which he is working, but those are some projects which are more concerned with the public or how to say, policy makers, and the dissemination of their results had some, how to say, much more broader audience than the pure scientific research of my colleagues. So the first one, or actually this is the last one that we were involved in, was about the assessment of the biological responses of the communities on former uranium mining sites in Bulgaria. In the past, we had 50 uranium mines on the territory of the country, and there was a lack of knowledge what is their impact on the environment. So we were asked from a state company, which is eco-engineering company, just to make a model about the effects of the uranium mining and what are the most proper biological objects to be monitored in order to get the best results and information about the effect of the sites. In this project, we had the opportunity to know exactly the end users and to communicate closely with them. And of course, this made the dissemination of the results much more easier. Of course, we had some scientific publications, we had some conference attendances, but the final results from the project, which were basically a model developed, is now in the hands of the eco-engineering, and they are trying to implement it in their future work. Of course, after the project is ended now, we can list some strengths and some weaknesses of the dissemination strategies, and the weaknesses are actually, part of them were listed before that. And the first one is that the project actually lacks its own web page. Of course, there is some information on the web, but it is just a not well-developed web page. It contains only basic information about what the objectives are and who the beneficiaries are and that kind of stuff, but no really ongoing and I mean data about the research. So I think this is one of the main weaknesses in this case. Something else which is thought as a weakness in our department is that there was a lack of agreement before starting the project between the beneficiary of the results and our department about the usage and upgrade of the model, and accordingly about the property rights of the model itself. So a little bit about the dissemination. Something which proved very good in this project as a dissemination practice was the communication with the local community. I mean, not only the municipality, but really at local levels, because those are mines which are directly in the fields of somebody. Let's say they're right next to a village or something like that. And working with those peoples proved to be very helpful for us, and I think we were able also to communicate with them to explain them what are the hazards or how to deal with them eventually. And the media in this case was not something which was very well presented, but personal face-to-face contact with the local communities or meetings during the field trips with the local communities was something good in this situation. So basically, in that kind of situation, I would say that apart from the scientific publications, which disseminate the results among the scientific audience, the work with the locals was really the big one, or more useful one.
You still have 5 minutes.
Okay. So,
You still have 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. I will just shortly go through another one. This is a project which I will not speak a lot about it. Actually, you can find some information about this one on the ENVIMPACT network. We also had some other projects about carbon sequestration in marshes in Bulgaria. Also, I can speak a little bit about this one. It is a project about developing a nutrient loading model from the Kamche river watershed. And the beneficiary in this case is the River Basin Directorate, the Black Sea River Basin Directorate in Bulgaria. In that kind of projects in which we partner with governmental institutions, we find some problems also, because we can develop a product which is specifically targeted to an institution or a governmental user, and sometimes what happened in this one is that they received the product, they use it for a while, and after that they decided that they do not have the human capacity to continue using it, because they had volunteers working with them for a couple of years, and the volunteers were doing all of the work with the modeling. And after that they say, well, we cannot hire another person, and we cannot, how to say, make somebody from our department or from the existing departments use the product, because the data for those models, they have all of the data, but they're in different how to say, in different parts of the institution, and somebody have to collect it, to extract all of the available data and run the model. And nobody wants to do this because it's not their primary job. So we kind of stuck the wall in this case, because hit the wall, because they have the final product. It proved useful, but it is actually being put into the I don't know how to say it. It's not used anymore. Now we are trying to communicate back to them, and we are offering the work of students as a master's degree, or eventually as a PhD students, if they want to provide us with the data, so the students can do for them the modeling of whatever basin they need. And now we are in a communication about that. And
just 1 minute?
Yes, that's the last one. And probably this one is the one project which was about management of headwater lakes on Vitosha mountain, which got the best, how to say, dissemination of the results, the best visibility of the results, because it is a tourist attraction and a lot of tourists are going, and these lakes now are case study objects for our department, and we continue the work there. And we have prepared some informational signs like this one, which are updated once every year or every 2 years, depending on the results. So the people going there, they can have information about what's been done, what is going on now, and sometimes I get surprised when I see in the newspapers like a short note about something is being done in the national park of Vitosha or something like that, just from journalists which do not approach us directly, but they just go there, see the signs, see the results, and after that make a short story somewhere. So this one is probably the one with the best visibility on the projects which I said. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm really glad to give this presentation today, and I would like to shortly demonstrate the best practice in dissemination of environmental research results, our experience from Latvia. Firstly, we investigated 85 projects, analyzed with at least one partner from the Baltic states, and finds that top 3 methods of transfer of project results are publication, conferences and workshops, and least used methods are books, prototypes and training. And I think this result is not surprising, that the traditional methods still dominate. Here I identified good practices, but which will be addressed in the presentation. I think I will not read, but show during the presentation this. The first project I would like to demonstrate is Framework Program Project, Vectors of Change in Oceans and Sea Marine Lives, Impacts on Economic Sectors. This project includes different dissemination activities, and most interesting of them is fact sheet series, information sheets on the key findings and outputs from project research, and knowledge transfer contacts database, which provides contact details for organizations, policy makers, stakeholders and individuals who have potential interest in the scientific outputs of the project. Of course, as traditional methods is used workshops and conferences and electronic newsletters. But also interesting method is and will be meetings of reference user group. It means stakeholders who are likely to benefit from, use or be affected by the findings of the project. And 5 meetings will have this RUG day to explain the ongoing progress in the project and to discuss the importance and relevance of project findings to the users. And also Marine Ecosystem Service Summer School will be organized to disseminate interdisciplinary research skills to the next generation. The next example is Baltic Sea Region Program Project, BaltAdapt, Baltic Sea Region Climate Change Adaptation Strategy. Also here different dissemination activities is planned, including events like workshops, policy forums, scientific conferences and documents like reports, publications, info bulletins, etc. And I think most interesting method is the Baltic Window information portal, which provides all available information on climate change adaptation in the Baltic Sea region and is designed for decision makers from the Baltic Sea region, and as a platform for disseminating and recommendations and actions derived from the project. And it is planned to integrate the Baltic Window into the European Climate Adaptation Platform developed by the European Commission and the European Environmental agency. Then Eco Support, it's a Bonus Plus program project, advanced modeling tool for scenarios of the Baltic Sea ecosystem to support decision making. It included different dissemination activities, and presentations have been made at prominent stakeholders conferences, as well as at public events and to target groups of stakeholders, policy makers and politicians. And here a new form of scientific communication was developed and tested. Namely, research data were projected into a cupola-shaped screen inside enclosed dome, and presentation have been made to a wide range of audiences, and overall the response has been overwhelming, and it resulted in the bonus award 2011 for the best public activity of product. Here is how it seems this cupola. Developed with Norrköping Visualization Center. 20 adults can take place inside, lying down on pillows on the floor, and presentations take about 30 minutes. You can see such instant form of communication. Life Plus program project, Hydroclimate Strategy for Riga. Integrated strategy for Riga city to adapt the hydrological processes for climate change phenomena. Of course, also project publicity plan includes time plan for dissemination activities, performance indicators, invitation of target groups, included different dissemination activities, including seminars for general public and students, and related to the previous discussion about the involvement of and communication for young generation. Here it's interesting that Riga City Council has organized competition of research walks that have to be related to the project theme, the influence of climate change and consequence on a global or local scale, and target audience was children of secondary schools. 3 best research walks received money prizes, not high of course, but as a motivating result and work together with young generation. And also in the previous section it was discussed the role of scientists, and should scientists disseminate results by themselves. And here is an example of European Economic Area finance project on small-scale wastewater treatment technologies, applying eco-engineering. And project was aimed to provide user-friendly and easy accessible technical documentation for different target groups on projecting and constructing and installing of small-scale wastewater treatment based on biofilters, bioponds and wetlands. Also, this cooperation between academic sector, University of Agriculture and private sector partnership. But what was decided by the project leader at the beginning? The project leader decided that it is not his job to prepare and to write by himself dissemination materials and to disseminate them. And as a result, a professional public relations specialist was employed by the project. And important that this specialist at the beginning was asked to take part in the first workshops of the project, to feel the project inside, to understand the project idea, and only then write this dissemination material. And 2 pages material was prepared as explanation of the project and project results and how to get consultations. And these materials was sent to all Latvia municipal informative portals, specialized portals of building associations, and positive response was more than 50%. Portals decided to include this prepared material in number of more than 100 publications was reached. This is okay for Latvia, because Latvia is not so large country. Okay. Also Eureka project, which received Eureka Innovation Award 2011 regarding optimized complex technology of cleaning soil contaminated by all pollutants, and the development of novel techniques for the cleanup of soil. Also important that a private company from Lithuania worked together with public research organizations, Latvian Institute of Food Chemistry and Kaunas University of Technology. And then I would also to stress that important is that Ministry of Environment is taking active role in dissemination of results. And as an example, I would like to note European Economic Area Financial Instrument Program, Integration of Environmental Policy in Latvia, which consisted of two parts. First part was interdisciplinary research and capacity building for environmental policy integration, and second part was environmental technologies and eco-innovation. In total, 17 projects were supported, and this project was implemented from 2009 till 2011. And program was supervised by Ministry of Environment. And Ministry of Environment had taken active role to disseminate results of the program as a whole. Namely, as Ministry had dissemination activities parallel to each particular project dissemination activities, and important, the funding for these activities was already planned by the Ministry in the beginning of this program from the centralized sources. So no additional funding was asked for the project beneficiaries, although only time to think and what to present, and informative video material demonstrating main achievements of each of the project was prepared by the Ministry. And the Ministry contracted for preparation of these video materials professional TV company. Thus all materials have unified structure and thus forms the unified set. And afterwards, video materials were demonstrated in broadcasts of Latvian national television, which was effective dissemination for wide general audience. And also, after there was two special workshop days, one of the beginning and one of the middle of the project, where was presenting first results of the results, and at the end of this program was a special workshop day where each of the project presented in a form of oral presentations main achievements. And speaking about cooperation between environmental researchers and national policy makers, I think at the moment is going rather active cooperation to use environmental and integrated environmental socio-economic research in order to develop national climate and energy policies. And I think in a large, my personal opinion is that in a large scale this is initiated by outside, because requirements of European Union new climate energy policy directives ask for improving quality of reports, and maybe less active cooperation in other environmental sectors. And finally, I would like to also show this slide about role of intermediate organizations for dissemination and exploitation of results. And I think this organization is important, and when we prepare interviews in Latvia with specialists, I like with this first sentence that researchers' communities often fail to evaluate the whole scope of importance. Namely, there is researchers maybe always want to disseminate all results as a goal for, but it means for limited target group, but maybe there is wider audience and take only part of research and to exploit it. And for this evaluation is important to disseminate this intermediate organization. Another challenge, I very like this approach of EcoWeb network, with joining this research results funded by different programs like Framework Program, LIFE and CIP programs. And this is also a challenge for Latvia in the future, because till now in the national level all program is making all day, separate day, like Framework Program is making all dissemination day, and Life Plus is his day, and Baltic Sea Region Program is his separate day. And the challenge is how to join all environmental research for different programs, together in such environmental research. Some job is done in this field, but I think it still is challenging, very question. Yeah, thank you for your attention.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. I would like to talk from a slightly different point of view, not only on the topical project related to EU framework program, but I would like to, I've approached my presentation from the point of view how to involve CE countries more into the research, into the practice and so on, and what are the available tools and activities that our center is doing. So as it was said, I'm representing here the Research Center for Toxic Compounds in the Environment that is located in the Masaryk University, Brno, in the Czech Republic, and we usually refer to ourselves as RECETOX, and many of you perhaps had a chance to hear about us. So this is the outline of my presentation. As I said, I would talk rather about how to involve CE countries more and what are the available tools. And I would like to focus then on the support to Central and Eastern European region through capacity building and technology transfer, which actually puts the research that we do into practice. So a few words about our center. We are relatively large. We are part of the Faculty of Science. We have 130 employees, 75 laboratories, over 4,000 square meters of research facilities. But we have not only a research and educational function, but as it was introduced, we also function at national level as a supporting national center for persistent organic pollutants. And as it was decided recently, we will be also a supporting center for overall chemicals management in the Czech Republic. In addition, thanks to the experience and expertise that our center holds for over 30 years, in 2009 we were endorsed as the Stockholm Convention Regional Center for the Central and Eastern European countries. That means at the global level in the UN system, the Central and Eastern European region is a part of the globe that covers really the new EU member states and further goes into the Ukraine and non-EU or associated countries. But we share a lot of common history and a lot of scientific work together. So these are the three functions that we do, and recently, thanks to the EU funding, we also are part of the large research infrastructures, and so we provide transnational open access to our facilities, and we do a lot of joint projects. So this is how our facility looked like. It's new. It's been opened only in October last year, and that houses all our laboratories and offices and so on. We have currently 4 divisions: environmental chemistry and modeling, environmental photochemistry and supramolecular chemistry, ecotoxicology and risk assessment, and protein engineering. And all these divisions fall very well together. They are able to deliver applied science that is then used within our work with national and international stakeholders. Then I would like to speak slightly about the tools we have, the Genesis information system and ALSPAC database. These are actually the portals that showcase the results, not only ours, but also from other stakeholders, and thus providing a platform for further dissemination of the results. And it's something which is slightly or might be related to the open access to the data, as it was said in the earlier presentation. So this is a scheme of our work, and our long-term objective is protecting humans from environmental hazards. So that's why we have 4 divisions. That's why our long-term goals is not only to do research at a very high quality in particular areas related to environmental chemistry, ecotoxicology, protein engineering, and so on, but also put those results into practice. On this slide, I have put together our kind of a curricula, how we actually became more involved in the Central and Eastern European area. because it was in the 5th framework program that we were coordinator of the APOPSPAL project, which is assessment of the selected POPs in the atmosphere and water ecosystems from waste materials generated by warfare in the former Yugoslavia. And for that we needed also to develop a framework, a network of Central Eastern European countries, because we set up monitoring how those persistent organic pollutants travel in different media and so on. So that was in 2002, and since then we have been heavily involved not only in the scientific cooperation, research exchange, but also we've done projects jointly. So this is the list of the projects that we are currently running, and in addition to those framework program projects, we have over 30 other multi-year projects and over 30 short-term projects with various stakeholders per year. So briefly to what we do. We do laboratory field studies, sampling on toxic pollutants, and we study their effects in the environment. That's what the Environmental Chemistry and Modeling Division is doing. Then the Photochemical Division is working on the Arctic processes, studying the kinetics and so on. The ecotoxicology looks at the animals and biota and also human effects. So we study with the endocrine disrupting chemicals, pharmaceuticals that are discharged in the environment, pesticides and derivatives and so on. So there is really a lot of network, a lot of things that complement each other, and so we are able to provide a complex and also integral explanations of things that happen in the environment around us. And finally, I would like to also talk about the applied part of it. So our research results about the monitoring, about the new enzymes and so on, within the area that we are located, there are also a lot of new spin-off companies that are interested in environmental research. And so recently we have put together a part of our research where we have an enzyme that is selective to compounds containing chlorine that are in waters and soils, and with another company that is actually working on the on electronic devices. We have done an ENVIROPEN, which is a very portable analytical instrument that shows you the presence and the quantity of the chlorine compounds that are available. And since the contamination of the environment is a problem of the Central and Eastern European countries, we believe that this kind of product and tool will be useful. And the enzymes and so on that are able to decompose, for example, the organic chemicals that were used during wars or discharge in the environment through unsound chemicals management, that works also very well. So our recent activities, as I said, we were endorsed as the regional center of the Stockholm Convention. We are also the national research infrastructure, and our new facility has been supported by the operational program Research and Development for Innovation, so that's where the new facility comes from. But we are not only using it within that project, but for all other projects that we are carrying. We don't only limit ourselves to the research and such, but into the close cooperation with stakeholders of all kinds, so including decision makers. And because we are part of the national center that is supporting by data and expertise the decision making and policy and strategy setting up, we actually have organized a global workshop 2 years ago in Brno that was identifying the research needs in the global assessment of persistent organic pollutants, and that has provided 10 points that speak about dissemination of results, availability of information, linking the information, and this is what we are trying to put into our research. This is what we would like to do in the near future, but I'm not going into details. What I would like to talk about is what we are actually doing in the Central and Eastern Europe. We are running the passive air sampling networks in Europe. You can see the world, and the smaller part is where we have our stations and networks. So we cooperate. We have really a dense network of cooperation. What do we do with those data when they are analyzed? We put them into the global environment assessment and information system, where I have just included a few slides that show you about the data, about the availability. You can browse, you can see how the environment is contaminated from various media, not only the atmospheric part, but also the water and soil. And it's not only our data, but also other institutions. So we're actually sharing them. But everybody can see. It can be of use to researchers, to decision makers, but also to the public and local authorities. Similar thing we have done at the global level for the Stockholm Convention. That's the portal and database of the global data related to the POPs monitoring of the air and human tissues. So this on this portal you can see more. And the last part I would like to mention is the linking environment and health, because that's really important what we are running into. But unfortunately, I have to also say that environmental chemistry or chemicals management is something that has been slightly, that lost the focus it had, or the attention it had previously. And so we think that by combining the environment and health, that's something we really need to focus on. So that part is our new longitudinal study that contains data over the past 30 years and related to the contamination of families and children. I would like to say just 2 words, and my concluding slide is what are the building blocks of our success. We have grown for the last 5 years from a center that had about 40 employees to a center which is 130 plus. We are known globally. We work not only with the national governments and industry and other stakeholders, but also in the United Nations, at the United Nations level. So we talk to the United Nations Environment Programme, the WHO, to European Commission. What are the blocks? What are the building blocks? We think it's the material infrastructure. It is the experience, the staff that we have. It is also the complex that we have, research, education and application, that we are not only studying the effects, but we are trying to find a solution for those that we cooperate with. And that we have really very efficient two-way communication channel is the science and regulatory level. We are able to respond to what is required, what do policy makers need their responses from. And last but not least, what is also helpful is we are getting input from not just one country, but many more. So we work with 23 Central and Eastern European countries, but we also provide support to 30 others in Africa and other countries. So we cooperate with all stakeholders, and for us, I think the policy or philosophy is learning by doing and growing by sharing, because we believe that sharing our data and our experience will actually help us to not only use the results that we commonly made, but also that we would contribute to the better environment and better life for all of us. So this is all. Thank you for your attention, and I'm of course ready to answer any questions you may have. And I also brought some brochures with me, so if you're interested to know more about us, come to me. I have about 20 of them. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation, firstly. Well, when I get this invitation, I didn't know what to tell about, because I'm a scientist, so I don't know what to do. Then I said, okay, I can show something which is maybe non-conventional for dissemination, and I will start first with conventional things. So, what we use for our disseminations? First thing is that our institute, of course, as all institutes, use ordinary things like articles, which are scientific or more popular science articles. So we have many publications with high impact Then, of course, we have patents, which are also one sort of dissemination. We are attending conferences, many different. I just put some at the side, some projects that we have, FE7 projects that were shown in these conferences. We use other media, like paper brochures, internet. We have our pages, we use LinkedIn and so on, so very ordinary things, I would say. We also had some interviews. Most of that was represented in FE7, well, the results of this FE7 project, like Hydronet, was represented with the radio interviews. It was also TV, short interview. So this is the, let's say, our main force for dissemination of best practice, I would say, commercial. But when I go to the non-commercial, first I would like to ask, or to explain what can science do actually, and what has this to do with our institute. So, with the science itself add value. We go to the financial part of knowledge. It can open new market needs, solve industrial problems, and it has long-term impact, like based on vision, which is at the other side quite risky. So who can support it? Another way, it's our institute. So this is our institute. We are working with that things. Mostly horizontal gene transfer is basically our goal. We use computational biology, environmental microbiology. So these are our basic tools, and we have our own vision, which is actually based on the basic research, which is organized in 3 different parts. Based on computational biology, we analyze metagenomes, functional encapsulation, where we like to understand the interaction between microbial communities, cell-to-cell interactions, and we have a lot of many years experience in environmental molecular microbiology. From that, we get useful things, which are actually basis of our spin-off companies. Let's say when we get some ideas here, we then put into in this side, like some lab equipment that was used in some of our previous projects, and so on. And this end out into platforms. So this is our interaction with other, let's say, organizations. We need a lot of collaboration, and these are 3-hour spin-offs based on our research. This is our team. Many students, many researchers, and these are some projects ongoing or this year finished. Okay, this is understanding of our institute, and then let's go to something for non-conventional. So based on this, that we understand what is the science and we understand what the institute is doing, and of course understanding what is going on in Slovenia. I can say this about local things about the country. So in Slovenia actually we don't have a private research institute that is not for profit. So many institutes which are private based on that they produce something and they do something. Another thing is we have in figures 10% of unemployment, but when we add the students, it's another 10%, so it's quite high unemployment. And then we have where we could get new jobs and this new data and new money and so on. It should be interaction between the industry and the science. We have, we can explain this with a simple model. Here's our government, interaction with the EU, and the industry, of course, supports all these things, activities, but the interaction between the industry and the scientists, it's rather small because it's high risky. The industry in Slovenia has not enough profit that would invest time, money to explain the scientists, and the scientists, of course, can easily get money, well, not easily, but much easily from the governmental perspectives. Yeah. So then another thing is, I would say, then our institute is non-conventional dissemination per se. Why? Because we use a little bit different model than this one. So we interact, we have our spin-offs. Spin-offs are kind of industry, and spin-offs are interacting with the industry in Slovenia more easily than ourselves, so as a scientist as the institute. Spin-offs can easily get to the market, which is rather a bit hard for the institute, for scientists and the market. This doesn't go quite well. And of course we get projects and financial support for that. Another thing is, of course, the spin-offs, and we educate people also. So we have PhD students, master students, bachelors. Also we have some pupils from primary school and so on. So this is our also dissemination. But to support this financially, one is the model, one is the reality. I would just say one case is this Nestle case, where actually there are some figures that they have 74 billion sales, euro sales. They have 8.8 euros of billion profit, and they invest 38 euros million to research, which is something like 0.4% of profit. If you put this into the figures for the IB, we would need something like 1 million euros per year, and that will get investment from the company in Slovenia, let's say, that has the clear profit about 250 million euros, which is actually not possible. And because of that, I thank the EU financial support that we can do these things. And here I would like to conclude. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.